November 30th, 2018. The corporate world was sitting down for its morning coffee when the notifications hit. Marriott data breach. 500 million guests exposed. Your stomach would drop. Every trip you'd taken over the last 4 years, the romantic anniversary in Paris, the Vegas conference. That weekend, you told your spouse you were in Denver, every single location, every name, every passport number. Gone. Stolen. But here is the terrifying part that no one realized yet. The hackers weren't amateurs looking for a quick sale. They were professionals, and they had been inside the system since 2014. Watching. Recording. Building files on diplomats, CEOs, and spies. And the most chilling clue of all, not a single stolen record ever appeared on the dark web. Not one. This wasn't about cash. This was about control. It was a surveillance operation masquerading as a data breach. The goal to know where 500 million of the world's most important people sleep. This is the story of the Marriott Starwood hack. A 4-year corporate disaster that became one of history's most significant acts of digital espionage. We have to go back to March 2014. The target isn't Marriott yet. It's Starwood Hotels and Resorts. Deep inside their headquarters, an employee opens an email, a seemingly routine invoice from a vendor. They click the attachment. Nothing happens. Or so they think. In that microsecond, a remote access Trojan, a type of advanced malware called Plug X, silently burrowed into Starwood's network. Think of it as opening a back door to a multi-billion-dollar house and then handing the key to an invisible guest. The first rule of digital breaking and entering is patience. The intruders move like smoke. 72 hours of silence. They just watched who logs in, which servers communicate. They were mapping the digital architecture. By day 4, they deployed their favorite tool, a password harvesting utility called Mimikatz. This program allowed the hackers to extract administrator credentials from system memory. Within minutes, they had the keys to the kingdom sysadmin. Suddenly, every door, every safe, every restricted area opened without question. Starwood's guest reservation database was a goldmine. Processing 50,000 transactions every hour. Names, credit cards, passport numbers. And the hackers were logging every data point while the victims had no idea they'd been robbed. Ironically, while these advanced intruders were settling in, an entirely different group, unrelated Russian cybercriminals, broke into the same network and stole a handful of credit card numbers. Starwood caught the amateurs 8 months later, declared victory, and celebrated. They never realized the real predators were still inside, sitting silently on their servers. This is a classic failure of cybersecurity protocols when you focus on one type of threat, like petty financial fraud, and ignore the signs of a far more sophisticated, long-term threat like espionage. By December 2015, the intruders had been residents for 21 months, collecting 127 million records. But the biggest security disaster in the hotel industry was about to happen. A corporate event that would triple their access overnight. September 23, 2016. Marriott CEO Arne Sorensen signed the papers $13.6 billion for Starwood. The deal created the world's largest hotel empire. But beneath the celebratory champagne, the internal warnings were already being ignored. A Marriott IT specialist sent an email. Has anyone done a deep security audit on Starwood systems? The answer was a rushed, inadequate review focused on financial fraud, not the ghost in the machine. Then came the corporate cuts. Marriott slashed 17% of Starwood's workforce, including the entire Starwood cybersecurity team. These were the very people who knew where the digital bodies were buried. Sarah Martinez, Starwood's lead security architect, cleared her desk on a Friday. By Monday, the intruders knew the system better than its new owners. The integration plan was a hacker's dream. Phase 1. Maintain separate systems for 18 months. Translation: leave the infected Starwood network running untouched. Phase 2. Gradual data migration starting in 2017. Translation: keep feeding the hackers fresh data. By early 2017, The hackers had full access to both legacy Starwood and new Marriott bookings flowing through the poison pipeline. They were collecting approximately 400,000 records per day. They were no longer doing a smash and grab. They were curating. They selected data points that only an intelligence agency would value: government email domains, passport entries, defense contractor billing codes. They were building what intelligence analysts would later call targeting packages. This is the central pillar of modern espionage, often referred to in cybercrime documentary circles as the database of databases strategy. It connects three major non-financial hacks, OPM, in 2014, which exposed 22 million government employees, told them who you are; Anthem in 2015, which stole 80 million health records, revealed your weaknesses and dependencies; and Marriott in 2018, capturing 500 million travel histories, told them where you go. Combined, it is the blueprint for total information awareness, a surveillance state's dream for identifying, recruiting, blackmailing, or eliminating high-value targets. While Marriott's teams were distracted by loyalty program integration and standardizing Wi-Fi, the hackers learned to move during scheduled maintenance windows. Their activity blended perfectly into the noise of legitimate system updates. It was like robbing the bank during a fire drill. 4 complete years passed. The hackers' collection had evolved into the most comprehensive human movement database ever stolen. But in trying to grab just a little bit more, they made their first and only mistake. September 8, 2018. Michael Torres, night shift at the Marriott Security Operations Center, saw his screen explode. 17 gigabytes of data, pulled in 12 seconds. The account making the request, sysadmin. Michael hit the kill switch. System lockdown. In the 460 days before this moment, the hackers operated with surgical precision. But in the final 9 minutes, they tried a desperate grab for an additional 4 gigabytes before Marriott's team cut the connection forever. The forensic team, the CSI for computers, found the evidence plug-X, Mimikatz, and command and control beacons pinging servers in Hong Kong. Then came the worst discovery: a 73 gigabyte compressed, encrypted file, 4 years of theft, packaged and ready to go. When they finally cracked the file in October 2018, the scale was dizzying: 500 million records, including 25 million unencrypted passport numbers, and 7 million encrypted credit card numbers, except the keys to decrypt them were also stolen, rendering them essentially naked. But what about the financial fraud? The key insight is this: the data was organized for intelligence analysis, not scattered for quick sale. When credit card numbers are stolen for cash, they appear instantly on dark web marketplaces in bundles known as fulls. Fraudsters use these fulls for card-not-present fraud, making online purchases or creating counterfeit physical cards. The Marriott Anomaly Zero Marriott credit cards surfaced on the dark web. Zero identity theft rings bragged about the score. The thieves stole Fort Knox and left the gold untouched, because they wanted the blueprints of the people inside, not the currency. The revelation hit the press on November 30th, 2018. Lawsuits arrived like an avalanche. But the true hammer fell on December 11th. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo confirmed the breach was the work of Chinese intelligence. This wasn't a cybercrime documentary. It was a Cold War thriller played out on hotel servers. Marriott's CEO, facing the Senate, admitted the truth: we're not equipped to fight nation-states. No hotel company is. When the enemy has unlimited resources and zero fear of prosecution, security has to evolve. Marriott undertook a massive $200 million overhaul, quantum encryption, biometric access controls, and the Starwood reservation system was finally, truly, murdered and buried. But the real lesson isn't about Marriott. It's about you and me. We traded privacy for points and security for convenience. We held the door open. Here is how you can fight back against this new age of digital espionage and financial fraud. First, stop fishing at the source. The initial breach was a single click on a fake invoice. Be skeptical. Never click on unexpected attachments, especially invoices. Even if they look legitimate, if you get an urgent request to change a payment or login, use an out-of-band communication. Call the company back using a validated phone number, not the one in the email. Second, embrace multi-factor authentication, or MFA. This is the single strongest defense. If your password is stolen, the hackers still need a code from your phone. Use it on everything: email, bank, social media. MFA is the digital deadbolt on your house. Third, use network segmentation and unique passwords. Use a password manager to create unique, complex passwords for every single account. If one is stolen, like in the Marriott hack, the attacker can't use it for your bank, which is a technique called credential stuffing. Fourth, credit monitoring and freezes. Assume your data is already compromised because of the scale of the OPM, Equifax, and Marriott hacks. Proactively freeze your credit with the three major bureaus: Experian, Equifax, TransUnion. This prevents criminals from opening synthetic identity fraud accounts in your name. Fifth, and finally, data minimization. When checking into a hotel, ask why they need your passport number for a domestic stay. Only provide the bare minimum of data necessary. Don't trade your passport number for loyalty points. The Marriott hack was not the end. It was the proof of concept. The systems you use every day, your smart TV, your fitness tracker, your coffee maker with Wi-Fi, are all collecting, storing, and vulnerable. The cybercrime documentary of the future is being written in your travel history right now. We must be as vigilant as the 4 hackers of the PLA Unit 61398, who lived and breathed in Starwood servers for 4 years. The hotel manager, the systems administrator, the banker today. They're all just another data point. The next time you check into a hotel, remember, you're not just booking a room. You're creating a file. And somewhere in the world, someone is watching to see where you go next. Stay safe out there. I'm the Digital Sleuth, and I'll see you next time.